Good morning, good afternoon. I'm Sarah Abzal. I'm a PhD candidate in technology management at the University of Bridgeport in the US. Today, I'll talk about success factors in design and implementation of virtual reality technology. So, in terms of agenda, I'll start with some introduction and then VR applications, research motivation, and I'll touch a little bit, and a literature review, methodology, and I'll finalize the presentation with the results and conclusion. So virtual reality is definitely a popular technology that we continue to hear every day. So I really like the word says by Harry Houdini. He said, what the eyes see and the ears hear, the mind believes. So VR technology actually is doing this. So imitates the world around us to create a very similar digital world. And that really gives input to our sight, touch, or hearing senses. So this is actually helping us, our brain, to create a real world-like experience. And VR technology especially is known in the gaming industry. So they also add some feedback mechanism, such as vibration, wind, or pressure, so to enhance really the user experience in VR. If you look at the VR applications, we generally see those applications used in automotive, healthcare, tourism, military, and also real estate, retail, airlines, or education industries. And retail companies also use these VR trainings a lot, especially I would like to share one example here from Walmart, and they use VR trainings to train their store managers to prepare them for Black Friday, which is a really big event in the US. So the most of retail shops are really crowded on that day and week. So here there's a quick video which I would like to share. So I'll start from here. So that's it is actually, because they always say that it's really important to make sure there's a real life experience which you can't really experience without that technology. And when you have that real life experience, it really helps you to retain that information for a long time. So let's move to the next slide. So here I would like to talk about the research motivation, and especially when you look at the market, there are many different versions, features, and different vendors of VR tools designers, but they are generally very costly. So selection of the right tool for if that's a training company or if it's a retailer. So it's really important to know and select the right tool based on the needs. So in the existing literature, there are a lot of research on the benefits of using VR in decision making, in analysis, problem solving, or in user experience. But we identified a research gap that especially there's not a lot of research on how to select that suitable VR tool. So that's why we look at some of the factors affecting the adoption of VR tool or platform. So first one we found as the user experience. So the virtual environment should be really believable, immersive, and interactive for users. And the second one, cost of that VR tool. So main cost items generally are the pay rates of the VR engineers, post-production costs, or some maintenance costs or new feature additions. So the total cost is really becoming a high cost for most of companies and users. And customizability is also important. So it's this helps to VR tools to keep up to date and effective in terms of creating that expected user experience. Ease of installation and use as well. So normally using VR tools shouldn't really require special IT skills. So it should be really easy to use and install to create that positive user experience. And also user support. You know, there's always something going wrong when you use this kind of tools. So when there's a proper user support, that affects the, again, user experience and also the success of that VR tool positively. So as a methodology, we got all these 5 important design factors from literature review, and then we created a questionnaire, which includes 7 questions. 5 of them were related with these criteria, and we use actually the Likert-like scale, so from 1 to 5, and we asked the importance of those criteria in the successful VR tools adoption to VR engineers. So we actually got their feedback. And the questionnaire was sent to 45 VR engineers. All engineers were in the US. And so 37 of them answered to this questionnaire. And you can see from the right-hand side demographics of these engineers. They have relatively short number of years experience because the tool, actually this technology is new, especially in other industries. You know, in the gaming industry, it is there for a long time, but for healthcare, automotive retail, these technologies are quite new. And they also design tools, mostly, as you see here, in the entertainment, education industries, and as well as the other industries listed here. And in terms of results, so participants, most of participants agreed on the ease of installation and use is the most influential factor in adoption of VR technology, but also the user experience came as second after ease of installation and use. And you can see the percentages on the top here, and also the standard deviation and the weighted average for each tool here, each criteria. So we also asked about their design challenges of the VR tools. So what kind of challenges they face? The first one came as graphics performance, so balancing realism and functionality. That came as number 1. So graphics needs to be at high quality, but at the same time, it shouldn't really slow down the frames in the VR tool. So if there's a delay, that also causes some motion sickness on users. So again, it's affecting user experience negatively. But there were also some other challenges about understanding the need of users, because the VR market is still relatively small market. So there is not a lot of user feedback that VR engineers can get and reflect those feedback on the design. And it's also quite highly complex, and there's not a lot of expertise in the VR design in the market. It's taking long time to build those skills. So these are other challenges. And we also ask participants which areas they see a growing use of VR tools in the next years. It is not surprising to see training and education industry came as #1 here, especially with the COVID-19 quarantine period right now. Most of schools became an online operator, so they actually connect students through this type of platforms virtually, but VR tools also will be used more and more in these schools programs. So as a conclusion, quality of VR software, meaning that the successful design, ease of installation and use, as we mentioned, are really important to create the right user experience and also successful outcomes. And hardware is also important, of course, software and hardware together. And also, as I mentioned, there's a limited number of user feedback on the VR tool, so that's why it's becoming challenging for VR engineers to build the right platforms, and also investing on the IT skills and really building those skills in the market is really important because they have definitely complex design, and also especially in the training field, when the VR tools are used more and more, the individuals actually can retain information more effectively when they experience it. So I would like to thank you for all your attention, and I would like to share our contact details here. If you would like to ask any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.